Morning everybody. I'd just like to take this opportunity in thanking you, the parents, for your continuous support and messages of gratitude in these most challenging times. Unfortunately, with snow day on Monday and issues with the internet on Tuesday, where our servers were fine but problems out of our control with Virgin Media, it's been a difficult week, and thanks again for your understanding. The teachers have really provided some quality remote provision as part of our offer, and I can assure you we're working extremely hard to maintain that level of delivery. Can I ask you as parents, and I know it may be difficult depending on your circumstances, to ensure and check that your child is accessing the remote lessons. We're extremely conscious that their experience cannot replicate normal face-to-face lessons, but it's important that all of our students take advantage of what has actually been offered. We're conscious that due to these guidelines, students are spending a lot of time in front of screens, so please reiterate to your child the importance of exercise and for them to access the physical activity lessons, videos tagged by the PE department, and certainly research backs up the fact that exercise is great for your emotional well-being, and we want to promote that fact. On that note, please encourage your child to access your form tutors and pastoral team to touch base, talk to them, to attempt to provide some sort of normality in these very challenging times. That's all from me, just a short sort of introduction, and I've now asked some teachers to give their perspective on remote learning and share the aspects that they're doing to ensure that your child gets the very best experience. Thank you very much for listening.
So hello everybody, we joined, you won't know this is take 3, by Miss Smail to discuss how Teams has been working for us and things that we found useful and things that we think might be useful to pass on to you as students. So I'm going to talk to Miss Smail, or Miss Smail's going to talk to me even, about what she thinks works in her lessons with Teams at the moment.
Well, I'm quite enjoying the interaction, be it via voice, unmuting, or the in the chat. Either it works really nicely. It's quite nice to have to see that feedback from students, either being invited or doing sort of who thinks what, and just typing into the chat choices of what the right answer is. So it means that I do know where my group are at all times, but also keeps that that one-to-one as well going on, so that I know where the majority of my, or all, hopefully, my students are for any of the subject knowledge that I'm covering, which is really good.
Yeah, I think it's hard because when you're teaching in front of a screen and you see sort of the little icons and that's all you see, it's really difficult to judge reactions. Like in a classroom, when you ask a question, you can just see everybody's faces and you can see people who are struggling just by you being a teacher. So it's really actually really good as a teacher when people are sort of thumbs up in or angry reactions. I know that I will put like one word, sort of finished or complete, just to check where people are, and I'll either get a thumbs up or an angry face reaction just to judge the speed in which we're going at. Because one of the feedback that was passed on to staff was to try and slow down a little bit, because obviously it's more difficult working from home and remotely. And I know I've done that recently with a lot of my Year 8 work that we were doing. We've sort of eased the pace a little bit because we're learning new software, and it's much easier for me to teach because I'm demoing in a classroom. I can go around and help a little bit. So I know I've sort of slowed the pace, and I know you do lots of the fun quizzes stuff, which people have said they really enjoy as well. Yeah,
that's right. And if you ask any of my groups, they would say that it is a lot of fun, but it's more than that. It's not just that it's fun. It's also that the quizzes that we do are directly linked to the work that we do, so that after the quizzes happen, obviously you see, the leaderboard, but you also can go through what the hardest question was, what people have got wrong, what was the easiest question to answer, and it actually means that people can then go off and do some review work on the back of that to make sure that gap is filled.
And quizzes are really good for that, because it's not only just the ones your teacher sets. You can find, like with your school login, if there's a subject or a topic in a subject that you're struggling with, and maybe that teacher doesn't use quizzes, there's tests that you can put yourself against that might be worth looking at. And I think I know you're about to start trying the breakout rooms. I've used the breakout rooms. I found out that on Friday the student can share their screen with me to the breakout rooms, and I can sort of manage their screen, which really helps from my point of view, just to see where somebody's at. I suppose that would be useful for you to see what they're writing or what they're doing.
Yeah. And the other thing that I've quite I'm getting to use more often is I have been using forms within teams and putting questions on again to at the end of a lesson to just check that knowledge and understanding, which is just variety, isn't it? Using all these different things. As you say, I haven't managed to use breakout rooms yet, and it's a difference between using the app and then the main site. So I'm using the main site where you can't use breakout rooms because of the way my laptop is driving me crackers. But again, it's that showing that, you know what, if it goes wrong, it's okay. If you can't do something, it's okay. Let your teacher know. You know, I've had students that have had to drop out of the lesson and rejoin because the PowerPoint isn't moving forward with me. Oh, and the last top tip is if they have got the opportunity, if they've got teachers that are putting their PowerPoints into the channel, they can download that before the lesson if they're in an area of, you know, where the Wi-Fi does drop. So they can download it beforehand, and I have students that do that, and then they just follow it and they're just using voice, so that the stream, you know, is less.
And I think that's a lesson for everybody, really, resilience. I know a lot of teachers teachers are knocking down my door constantly to sort of ask how to do different things, and things aren't working. So the tech is a struggle for teachers as well. So I don't start sitting there thinking you're on your own. And just ask for help. Ask for help. If you're saying, I don't know how to work this feature, or this feature isn't working for me, just ask and do a raise of a hand, or email the teacher if you're not sort of confident in doing that in the whole chat. But definitely get in touch and just sort of let us know. And the people voice I think is really, really powerful, because it's helping us sort of change the way we teach, because it's new for us. Although we did it last year, it's still a learning curve to do it to every year group at the same time. So keep up the good work. I think one of the things we said in probably take 1 or 2, I can't remember now, was that actually we're really proud of a school that how well people have adapted to this. When you look at the attendance to lessons, you look at the work being produced via remote lesson, it's actually really pleasing, and it makes it worthwhile still that the people are engaging so well. So thank you for
it does engaging. Feel like we're working as a team.
Yeah,
it really does.
I agree.
We're working together.
Well, thank you to Miss Smail for giving up time, and thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Henley-in-Arden School, achieving excellence together.